So, Thrall, or is it Goal?
It's Goel.
That sounds pretty girly. We'll go with Thrall. Thanks for coming out today. I hear you want to return to the Horde.
I do, to help make things right.
Oh, is that so? Because you were the best war chief, huh? So, tell me really, what is it that you did as the war chief?
I did the best I could to keep peace between the Horde and the Alliance.
Oh, sure. That's why you up and left as soon as a new job opened up. You didn't even put in your 2 weeks. You didn't even train your replacement.
I hoped my legacy would humble him, and that the other leaders, my friends, would counsel him.
Legacy, huh? Oh, some legacy. You remember Cairn, your friend? Yeah, he's dead. He didn't even get a model update.
What?
And your other friend, Vol'jin? Yeah, he's dead too. What's even better, you were there. Yeah, I saw the clip, crawling around like a baby, and who saved you? Your dead friend's son. And he's locked up.
That's why I must right this wrong.
That's real promising. Not really. Is there anything else?
There is. You haven't seen my final form. Ugh.
Oh my. Well, hey, welcome back to the Horde. I'm gonna have you meet the new HR lady. For a panda, she's a total bitch.
How's the coffee?
Better?
Hey, it's Soul. It's April 26, 2019. This is Warcraft Weekly and Avengers Endgame.
Whoa, it's the 19th, man, not the 26th.
For real?
Yeah.
My life's over. But it's cool. It's cool because...
Massive PTR excrement, independent women, metal apocalypse, Heartforge.
You know, that just didn't really come off too well. What do you think?
Keep it.
Alright, this week's first build of the 8.2 PTR has just way too much to cover in a single video, so please subscribe and stay tuned for some of that future coverage. So let's get to some news before I get to the topic based on whatever the heck thumbnail that I end up putting up. Yeah, this shouldn't really surprise me anymore, but well, the biggest topic of 8.2 isn't about the new zones to explore. It's not about, at least what I think for now, is a temporary but successful band-aid to class progression. It's not even about the fact that we're going to get this awesome version of post-Judgment Day. It's about mounts on water, and mounts that are not on water. Even before the PTR was released, there was a massive debate across the internet about mount equipment, specifically about how the Water Strider, the beloved, okay, it's not really that beloved, but this tolerated mount that many players, including myself, use to skip content. Oh, you're using it for immersion. Right. The Water Strider is going to have an equipment slot, just like all the other mounts, except for the Sky Golem, meaning it's going to lose its innate ability to walk on water. And players are pissed that with this new feature, the efforts that they put into getting the Water Strider are being wasted. But that's just like how introducing new expansions and tiers of content, the efforts that we put into obtaining gear and accomplishing goals for that current content is being wasted. And I suppose it's just like how introducing badge gear, the efforts that we put into real raiding and PvP are being wasted. And I guess it's just like how bringing in 10-man and flex raiding, the efforts that we put into the real 25 and 40-man raiding back in the day are being wasted.
Where are you going with this?
I don't know. The point is, I get why some people don't like the change. It's like, you gotta swap out your equipment so you can have water walking? Gross. It is a good thing that Blizzard decided that the cost for this set equipment is only 50 gold for those people who had already earned the Water Strider, but it's about the principle, right? I mean, never mind that 50 gold doesn't even get you enough to pay for a weapon transmog these days, and completing an emissary quest could net you, what, like 20 of those water walking items?
No, it's the principle.
So like many have already said, I suggest to Blizzard, leave the Water Strider alone. Just lock that mount to water walking, just like the Sky Golem is locked to faster herb farming. That way, come 8.2, when you see a Water Strider, I can look down upon them from my $500 dinosaur mount and think to myself, ha ha ha, there's one player who's too broke to have fun. And / sarcasm. In some non-news, the Classic WoW beta showed up on Blizzard's content delivery network, sending Classic WoW fans scurrying in a frenzy that it's coming soon. And I'm excited for Classic WoW. I want it to do well because that means WoW overall is going to do well. But maybe it's just me, but I'm not nearly as excited to dive into the data mining to see the items and visuals, because instead of the wow, let's take a look at all this new stuff, it's more like, wow, let's make sure this feels the same as it did 15 years ago, if I can manage to remember that far ago.
I can't wait to see the picture comparisons between the classic WoW paradise and the retail WoW dystopia.
Okay, yeah, that's like one spot, but then elsewhere it was kind of a wasteland, except for, where you farm for raid materials.
Well, that depended on the realm.
Right?
When the realms mattered. Ho, ho, ho.
In other news, the Crucible of Storms raid opened this week to as much fanfare as you would expect from a two-boss raid. Thanks to my twisted mind, I can't get over the feeling that we fell into the rectum of Stormsong Valley, and then at the end of it was a giant eyeball that, if you look at it a certain way, it looks like something that needs to be mosaicked. There we go. All in all, I still find this small raid to be a nice little cherry on top to tide us over until 8.2 arrives, and that I was right. This trinket is pretty sweet.
Look forward to next week when the LFR version is out, so the real players can participate.
So let's move on to the reactions of this week's PTR, the very first and the very big build. There is a ton of stuff here to digest. So Belluar ate it all, and he shit out a whole lot of videos. But it's well-constructed shit, it's not, a knock, whatever. Many other content creators came out too, pumping out loads of previews, pictures, videos, tweets, posts, tips, guides, and etc. I'm going to be going about my PTR coverage at my usual snail's pace, covering not just the pretty pictures and features, but mostly cherry-picking the things that I like, talking about how we're going to experience it when it goes live. And yet I've noticed, and this is coming from just my perspective, that the typical hype and excitement just isn't quite there.
Maybe because the patch sucks.
And it makes me wonder why the air is particularly thick this time around, when there is legit a lot of stuff coming, when what we've seen so far, at least in my opinion, is very interesting, when the content seems to tie itself together in a cohesive and meaningful way. 8.2 feels like there's a lot of long-tail content that's going to keep me engaged. It's going to reward me with cool stuff, and with regards to the Essence system that I covered pretty extensively now, there are some meaningful options that I can play with after all of this collecting.
But maybe the patch sucks.
Yeah, maybe the patch sucks. Now I'm going to give some broad and personal opinions, and you're not going to entirely agree with me. In fact, maybe you won't agree with me at all, but I would like you all at home and on the toilet watching to at least understand where I'm coming from. And then I'd like you to give your own opinion, share your thoughts, not just what you think that others think, but your personal thoughts on WoW and BFA and Blizzard these days, and I guess how this expansion has affected you personally. I look at this 8.2 content. Oh, and by the way, I'm going to be talking about some low-key features later after this bit of a rant. If I look at 8.2 as standalone content, as if 8.2 was the actual expansion launch, or if I quit during Legion and now I'm coming back in 8.2, or I guess if after BlizzCon 2017, after the expansion reveal, I cryogenically froze myself and then I woke up in May or June, whenever 8.2 launches, I think I would be having a lot of fun. I would be wowed by all this content. It's like, holy smack, I get a spider mount, I'm going to Nazjatar, I'm getting this armor with these Azerite things to choose from, and I get these major and minor glyphs or whatever this is back and that I can power up. Holy smack, like BFA is pretty awesome. But that's not reality. We can't erase the handling of Azerite trades and the artifact power grind. We can't erase the awkwardness or the lack of context between islands and warfronts. We can't erase all the news that have soured our taste for Blizzard and Activision and all the other stuff that's happened in the gaming industry. We can't forget about the massive layoffs or Ian's doubling down on some of their design decisions. I can separate myself enough between being a commentator and being a player, and I can say that even this very first build of 8.2 is very, very impressive, and I'm looking forward to the iterations that are going to come over the next few weeks or months or so. The expectations are very high, and I'm sure that there will be developments and things that let me down, but so far so good. As a player who's been here just about every day, Poking at content and rated with my guild, 8.2 is kind of like a breath of fresh air, when otherwise the air has been pretty stagnant. Know what I mean? It's like instead of pure excitement, it's more like relief, mixed with a healthy bit of skepticism. I think Blizzard is going in the right direction with what's coming, but it's also not enough. 8.2 is not the class progression and leveling revamp that some people are craving, including me, if you've seen some of my other feedback videos. I do have to give Blizzard credit where it's due though, because as far as memory serves at least, this is the first time that within just a patch, Blizzard is launching 20 some odd different swappable abilities. Most of them are active abilities, and among them, 2 of them are altered based on your specs. So that's more like Blizzard developing like 40 or so abilities that are coming in this patch. And that's not even mentioning the passives, and that's going to create its own little meta too. But for many, perhaps you too, maybe that's not enough. Maybe it's not nearly enough to wipe Blizzard's hands clean of everything that we've been experiencing between November 2017 and now, April 2019. It's been a heck of a roller coaster so far with this so-called culture of negativity and contempt that I would say is less interested in dialogue and more interest in being heard. And there is a difference. That's it for my little ramble, but I'd love to hear your folks' personal thoughts, either here or Twitter or the Discord channel. So let's break away and wrap up the weekly with a bit more of a positive note by mentioning a few smaller things in this PTR build that might have flown under the radar for you. Maybe these things will excite you, maybe not, but well, check it out. Remember those transmog changes that they talked about a few weeks back? Well, that's in the 8.2 PTR, much sooner than I thought it'd be. You can now hide everything except your pants, and of course your weapon and offhand if you have one. So if you want to cosplay as Garrosh Hellscream, or as an out-of-place troll in flannel holding a fish while wielding the powers of a paladin, go right ahead. The guild and communities pane has changed a bit too. In the PTR, if you open up the guild pane, you immediately see this slightly revamped version of the Guild Finder tool. This is not complete yet though, it's actually really buggy, and I might not be fully understanding what I'm looking at here. But one thing that does have me excited, check out that window right over there. The team seems to be working on improving the Guild Finder system. From the looks of these options, guilds will be able to automatically accept invites, but also be able to filter who is looking out for your guild by class, role, or even item level. But we're still not 100% sure if this will also mean we can search for communities either. So count on me following up on this for sure, because guilds and communities are a big concern for me when it comes to the World of Warcraft's long-term health. And finally, something interesting that the good old folks over at Wowhead pointed out, there are special rings that come out of the upcoming Mechagon dungeon. They're not testable yet, but I think they are super cool so far. These rings let you customize your own passive effect. You just need to get this pair of rings first. One type of ring sets up a condition, while the other ring sets the effect. Put them together and you make your own effect. So as a protection paladin, if I get the ring that has the condition of me doing holy damage, which is pretty normal for me, then I'd be able to activate a number of effects, like a magic absorption bubble, or it would just deal damage, or heal others, and so on. I think that this is way more engaging than like farming the old Return to Karazhan dungeon, so I can get a item that can make me do more auto attack damage. This is going to have a much more noticeable effect on just about every class. And that's the show. Woohoo! And I'm glad that I can end it on a little bit more of a positive note, but I am truly, genuinely excited for this patch. Like, see? Way better than last week.
So he says.
But for those of you who are burnt out and you just had enough of being disappointed time and time again, I don't blame you. And if airing your not good enough speech makes you feel better, then more power to you. There's the comment box. Get going. For the rest of us though, I'm pretty stoked. I seriously had to resist farming the crap out of Mechagon on the PTR because I didn't want to spoil myself so much when the actual patch goes live. Then I'll go about wandering around the Borderlands because, dude, I mean, just look at it, you can't help it. And since you made it to the end, thanks. Let's give some game time away. For players in the US region, leave a comment below about what's got you excited about patch 8.2 in a non-sarcastic way, and I'm going to choose a random winner next week. And next week, you can count on more 8.2 breakdowns, including some of the lore reactions. Ooh, I just can't wait to talk about how Sylvanas fails at like everything. Don't forget to catch me on streams, on Twitter, on Discord, in the comments below. Like the video, subscribe for more of this, and all things Warcraft. We'll see you next week. Until then, stay safe, stay happy, and stay breezy.